and welcome to the Nintendo Switch Online Game Club, the show where we play through the games available on Nintendo's various NSO apps completely at random. I'm your host, Derrick Bittner, and in this episode, I'm joined by Sabrina, editor, streamer, and always there to lend a hand for charity. How you doing, Sabrina?
I'm doing good. Just been busy with with working, but I try to stream whenever I can and help out whenever I can. So I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you on. And Abbie Willet, developer on Hitman 2, Sackboy's Big Adventure, and currently working at Sumo Digital. Abbie, welcome. How are you doing?
Yeah, brilliant, thank you. I'm really excited to play Mario Tennis. It's been so many years. It's a childhood classic. I would play it with my mum and my brother, and we would hang out, and it was excellent fun. So I'm really excited to revisit this great game.
Yeah, and as Abbie indicated, we are playing, the Wheel of Games has chosen Mario Tennis 64. That is our odd pick because we never know what we're going to get. And apparently they just knew that you two really like Mario and like, here, have some tennis. Because it's funny. I did not grow up with the Nintendo 64. I played a few games on it, but for the most part, it was not there. And tennis was just one that escaped me. I never played Mario Tennis. So let's start with you, Sabrina. What is your history with Mario Tennis?
So even though I had an N64 growing up, I didn't really start to play Mario Tennis until I want to say like Wii Virtual Console.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I definitely got it there, and then I would play it sometimes with like friends, like here and there, just doing that. But I would think I would more so with the Mario sports franchises. I would more so play with Strikers, baseball, Toadstool Tour. But like was the one I played like the least, so it's gonna be fun revisiting that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things I always heard about, but it was like Mario Sports. It didn't click with me right off the bat, and obviously I wasn't playing it at the time. But Abbie, what's your history with Mario Tennis?
Oh, I've been playing it for many years. I can't say I'm very good at it, but I have a lot of fond memories playing it with my family. And it's one of those games that really put a lot of personality into the Mario characters for the first time and seeing them interact with each other in such a unique way. I'm really excited to dive back to the roots of Mario Tennis and give it a go and see how the game's changed, like from way back when to how it is now. I think it's going to be quite the journey and explore all these really cool things and see what stuck and what didn't with the franchise. So I'm really quite excited to dive in.
It's going to be interesting for me because, as the live audience has mentioned at Alpha Lion, my first time I ever played a Mario Tennis game was Ultra Smash on the Wii U at a demo event. I think it was E3 or PAX, one of those where it's like they were showing it off for the first time, and I tried it. It's like, yeah, this is fine. It seemed kind of basic, but it's like, this is fine. That sort of colored my opinion, but everybody else is like, oh, this sucks. There's nothing to this. Like it loses the personality of what Mario Tennis had before. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then Mario Tennis Aces. And then I started actually seeing like the opening cutscene for Mario Tennis on GameCube, but I still don't know a ton about tennis on N64. I know a little bit about Mario Golf on N64, namely because I did play it at a friend's house once, and it's the only game that I know of that actually has mini golf as part of it. It was like, why doesn't that come back? Mario mini golf sounds like fun. But either way, a lot of people also know Mario Tennis because it was the introduction. It's the first game Waluigi ever appeared in. So that's infamous for that. It also is the one that reintroduced Daisy and Birdo of all things. So yeah, it's actually a pretty monumental game where I think I have Hi Kai.
He just really wanted to see you, so I thought maybe he's
My son is so excited about what got picked next. We got Mario Tennis. He's a big Mario fan. But yeah, we got oh, poor guy. Usually he's like, I come down and he's like, no, I want mom, so you go back upstairs. But yes, that's all my history is with Mario Tennis. What can we expect out of modes with this? Like, is it just tennis or is there like a story? Like, I honestly don't know what we're in for.
Off the
Don't
top
remember
of
there
my
being a
head.
story mode.
Yeah, I think it's just tennis. Like I think it's just playing with your friends. I don't remember a story mode.
Okay. Yeah,
Maybe
I
I
think
mini.
there's a couple of extra modes though. I think there's one where you do tennis and you go through rings to score points. And I think there's one more game mode, but it escapes me. Well, that's why we're replaying it, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. See if it holds up, because I do know that Aces is a lot of fun. I do have a good time with Aces. I don't play it a ton, but I did very much enjoy it. So
it's good. I enjoyed what I played of it. But like it's going to be fun going back to the roots. I mean, I'm a big power tennis fan. I really love the GameCube, and it definitely is a pared back version of that game. But I feel that the spirit of Mario Tennis is definitely there, despite. You gotta play. You gotta play.
you gotta,
I'm really
that's, yeah,
excited.
exactly. That's what we gotta do. We actually gotta play here, and it's a shame that Mario Tennis is not on the Game Boy is not on the service, because it'd be cool if we could actually see some of the transfer pack and like the way they could actually interact with each other. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. That would be cool. I mean, I do have the games physically, so I could check if you wanted, which would be pretty cool.
I leave that completely up to you. All I require is play a little bit of Mario Tennis and report back. But yeah, I mean, this is just a cool. Honestly, it feels like we got a pretty solid game. I don't know if like it's the best game, but it seems like it's going to be a pretty fun game.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well. Any other thoughts on Mario Tennis preconceptions before we get back into it? Do you think it's going to hold up? I guess that's the big question for both of you.
I think, yeah.
Ish.
That's oddly more reserved than I was expecting. I was honestly expecting, yeah, it's gonna be great. It was like,
I think it's gonna feel basic, but in a good way. I feel like it's going right back to its roots, and it is the core gameplay, like through and through. No additional gimmicks or things laid over the top of it to change it. It is just the core gameplay experience that you'd expect. It's tennis. It's got Mario and friends. There is some fun stuff that they've added in to kind of spice things up a bit, but it's just the core gameplay is the simple tennis loop. But you know, they built the groundwork for something that ended up being really fun and successful in the end. So it's going to be quite fun to kind of dissect why, which is what I do for a living, right? So it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be fun looking at like what started it all. Like I said, I barely played like the tennis sports games. I don't know why. I just skipped out on all of them. I haven't played like the GameCube one, which I've only seen like the cutscenes and like these are great. But like yeah, 64 is the only one I've played, and I just remember having like a good time with friends. But I think it will be pretty fun to revisit.
Yeah, I will never play actual tennis because I just watching people play that, I was like, oh God, I look so tiring. I can't do that. So this live by association. That's how we will do this. But yeah, we will be back in a week with our full thoughts on Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64. Till then, everyone.
Yes! Great game, guys.
Yeah, better luck next time. Just work in that server of yours, little man, and I'm sure you'll get it.
That's rich. Plumbers are sore losers. Something to remember when you're playing new Mario Tennis. Only on N64.
And we're back after a week of playing Mario Tennis on the Nintendo 64. And Abbie, as the one super excited for this game, like Sabrina was excited, but I think you kind of outclassed it where you were just going nuts for this. What did you think coming back to this game?
Oh man, I literally got smashed in the face with nostalgia. Like the moment the intro cinematic came on, the blimp flew past and the music started, I was like, oh, I'm ready. I'm ready for the long haul. It's gonna be a great laugh. I couldn't believe like how long and ambitious that cutscene was at the start. It really does set the scene for the kind of charm and humor that the game provides, like throughout the entire experience. And yeah, I think like I don't want to jump too far ahead, but like I was really surprised by how much of the game is preserved, like through the future generations and iterations of the game, and like the groundwork that was laid here, and how much of it could carry forward. Because I genuinely think that like they built something really special here, which they only further improved over the course of the games in the future.
I think that's extremely fair. What about you, Sabrina? How did you feel coming back to it?
I was a bit nervous because, like I said before as well, like tennis was the one like Mario sports game that like I didn't really play too much. I've played like some Tennis 64 like maybe like a handful of times, but like I never owned the GameCube one, the Switch, Wii U, none of those. So I was a bit nervous like trying to get back into it because I remember whenever I played it, I wasn't the best. But I do like the opening cutscene, and it's always fun to watch like over and over again whenever I was booting up the game. And like it was a bit intimidating at first, but then getting into it, I was like, okay, like I'm learning more now that I'm actually sitting down and learning how to play the game.
You are incredibly right about intimidating in a way that I just did not expect for this game. I did not expect it to be as intimidating as possible. As I said in the preconceptions, my first Mario Tennis game was Ultra Smash, which is, but I have played a bit of Aces and whatnot. And Abbie's right; it's amazing how much is retained all the way back in this original game. But I boot up the game, watched the delightful cutscene. It's fun hearing all the old voices and the first instance of Waluigi and just the sort of Luigi's trash talking. I love like that is the best thing is like Luigi's not putting up with Waluigi at all, and I kind of love it. So I'm like, all right, this is cute. I'm down for this. Let's do this. And I like, okay, let's just go easy. We'll just play a single game. Got destroyed. Like the just picked Daisy, picked the shortest version of it in singles. Got absolutely manhandled by normal AI. I was like, what is happening? So I started trying out the minigame stuff, doing okay at that, and just like, oof. And I'll be honest, I had a rough first impression. It's like, oh, this might be a little too hard. I don't know about this. This is not clicking for me. But actually, it's like, okay, I know what I need. I need a goal. I need something to sort of point in my direction I can work towards. So I looked up how you unlock the extra characters, levels, stuff like that. And the big thing I found is you got to get through the tournaments in both singles and doubles in order to unlock characters. Cool. I'll start on that. And that thankfully had a much gradualer increase in difficulty where the Mushroom Cup wasn't too bad. But you get to that Star Cup and it's like, oh, okay, here comes the pain. But overall, honestly, it took me a little while to warm up to it. But once I did, I honestly did kind of dig it.
Yeah, I really felt like when I was starting to struggle, I forgot how difficult it was. And like, I don't know how as a child I managed to unlock the extra characters. But I felt like Mario from the intro cutscene with the mad speed lines for like 0.5 seconds that's just randomly in there where you blink and suddenly you're being like service aced, and like every time you try and think, oh, this is a really smart thing to do, you do like a cheeky backhand, and then all of a sudden they exploit you and then they start firing across the level, and you're like, how on earth did you read that play so well? And it's like every time you try and come up with a strategy, the AI just know exactly what you're gonna do, and they absolutely eat you for lunch. It was especially in the Star Cup later on, I was just like, this is absolutely crazy difficult. I definitely agree with you where starting from tournaments is a really good place to go, as the difficulty curve is a lot less steep than just jumping into an exhibition match and playing on normal difficulty. But man, does it get hard.
No kidding. I was just continually shocked, and if you want to unlock everything in this game, you have to do a lot. Like that, I guess that's good for its replay value, I guess. But man, they put you through the paces, because I looked it up, and essentially to get, I think, the final unlock, which I can't even remember what that is, you have to beat the tournament mode with every single character. Oh, holy crap!
Why?
It's a lot of work.
And I was actually able to beat the tournament in doubles. I played Luigi, and I had Daisy as my partner, and she was like really carrying me and kind of helped me get into the flow of how you should really be playing the tennis. Because I even in single player, I chose Donkey Kong, and I got to a Star Cup match against DK Jr., and I can't beat him. And it's even worse because it's nothing but monkey sounds the entire time. Like I'm going mad.
That was me with the Flower Cup, like the first match, because Donkey Kong is like the first person I was Baby Mario, and Donkey Kong was the first person I was facing, and it got to like a tiebreaker match, and it was just the two of us just like hitting him back and forth for, I felt like it was like 20 minutes. I'm like, come on, man, please, just stop hitting it back. I didn't get past that. I was like, I'm done. I'm just gonna go play the ring mini game, and that one at least gives me joy.
Oh, I love it. It's something else, that's for sure. I'm just shocked at what it's all about. And I had, the thing is, I had fun, and honestly, it's really cool as a character piece, like a starting place for the characters, because you have your Mario, your Wario, your Luigi, your Peach, but then you get the odd choices. Then I forgot to start here, because obviously we got the reintroduction of Daisy and the introduction of Waluigi, but I forgot the Baby Mario was in this, which is like, this was the start of the trend of the babies. It's just like, oh, we have Yoshi, we might as well put in Baby Mario because of Yoshi's Island. I'm like, holy crap, that's actually kind of clever. And then, oh my God, DK Jr.'s in this. That's cool. That's the last time we'll ever see him. It's just, from a character standpoint, it's really cool. And I'm looking at the Mario Wiki right now. It's a shame you don't have access to the transfer pack features, because you can unlock 4 more characters straight from the Mario Tennis Game Boy game. Alex, Harry, Nina, and Kate, just 4 regular humans. But it's like, that's kind of cool. I like how much content there is in this.
Yeah, they've got some really great cutscenes as well, which you would only get if you use the transfer pack and then get one of the trophies. Like, there's one that genuinely made me laugh out loud, where Harry gets on one knee for Kate, and she just looks at him like she wants to turn to Homer Simpson going into the hedge, and just completely ignores him and walks away. And it is hilarious. I could not get over it. I was just laughing so much. I couldn't believe they would put something as savage like that in here. And it genuinely like made me like, it's one of those things that like really adds to the effort of putting those characters into the game, and then being able to use them and play them in 3D as well, which is also really cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really interesting though, because I was really like, although the game's really hard, like, it's the little things in the game, like hitting the ball, it just has so much satisfying weight to it. And like, even this early in the series, like, you feel like you have control of the ball. You know where the ball is going to go based on the amount that you move the stick, and having your character with the different attributes that they're assigned on the menu, they do genuinely feel different. Like, the speed characters are way better for if you're learning the game, where you might not be so comfortable with your spacing on the pitch, and you need to try and figure out more how to get from A to B, whereas a heavier character like Donkey Kong, like, you can really play with the mind games of tennis, where you take much less time to charge up the ball to get way more speed. Mm-hmm. And I just thought that, like, there was a lot of depth within the core game loop that has retained throughout all the years, and I was really quite impressed by like how much mind games that you can play, especially in multiplayer. I did get to play a little bit in multiplayer. Oh, nice. And it's just so much fun. I mean, human players make everything better,
True.
Like with this game, especially with the brutally hard AI, it was nice to play a human player at my skill level, which is not crying in a corner against the Wario AI. But like it was just really, it was really cool, and it's definitely, I can see why, even as a kid back then, I wanted to play it with my friends whenever they came over, as opposed to other things. Like obviously we would play Mario Kart, Mario Party as well on the N64, but Mario Tennis came out a lot, and it was also something that I played with my family a lot as well. Like my mum didn't really play games with me, but that was one game that she really gravitated to, and I definitely felt the essence of the game and my memories as a kid playing it with my family. It all kind of came together, and I'm like, yeah, I really remember now how much I really love this game. I thought it's good.
Yeah. And as Sabrina mentioned, she went to the ring shot mini game. Like, it's not just regular tennis. There is some other little things you can do. There's 3 other kind of modes. We got the ring shot, the Bowser stage, and the Piranha challenge. And Sabrina, what drew you to ring shot the most? Because there's even 4 different sub modes of that.
Yeah, like I was like, okay, like I want to try to like each mode, like expedition tournament, all the side games, and then I was like, okay, like ring mini game, I can probably guess how it's gonna be, like, because I played a lot of like Wii Sports, and I know that those tennis mini games had like targets, and I enjoyed that, so I went into it thinking it's something similar to that, and I was kind of right, so, like kind of, but it was nice that like it's like the opponent. Like I didn't like the first main mode of it, which is kind of like, oh, you need a certain amount of points, but also win the tennis match, and like that's too much.
And you can't win it too fast either, because I destroyed the opponent and they didn't have. I only had like 15 rings, and like, well, you lose. What?
Yeah, so it's like the other modes where it's like the timed ring one, I believe, was like my favorite, where it was like, okay,
Yes.
like we're actually working together and we're trying to get this many rings in this amount of time, and I enjoyed it until Wario kept spiking the ball back at me, and like, come on, aren't you my friend in this mode? Why are you being so cruel? Oh no. But yeah, like I tried that one. I think is my favorite. The other ones is kind of like you have to do it in a certain amount of tennis balls.
Okay.
Which when I tried that, I'm like, okay, like it's not too bad, but like it definitely ramps up the difficulty a little bit, because it's like the time one is kind of like, oh, you have unlimited amount of tries, you just have until the time's up.
Mhm.
But this one's just like, oh, like this is like you have to be very precise on everything and be good at it. And I can't, I'm blanking on. I feel like there was like one more. It was the rings counted as points, and what they did was it starts out small, and each um um it's not, the term's not volley, right? Because that's volleyball, but like
I mean, it's
each,
same concept.
yeah, same concept. Like each volley of the ball, the rings would go bigger, and I think it would be like less points at that point, but if you get like the smaller rings, I believe it's like 5 points. And I liked that one as well, because I'm like, okay, like let me see if I can get these smaller rings before they become like like ginormous. And I'm like, okay, I don't need I don't need it. I just need to get like 250 points in this one, 100, 150, and it just kind of gradually went up from there. But I think the one I just like the basic time one, that wasn't the tennis game, but the rings were a lot of fun for me.
That's awesome. I did try out the other modes, and we got the Bowser stage, which is basically just a rotating court, and you get to use power ups, kind of like Mario Kart. It's fine. I mean, it's where you go for wacky stuff, and I will say something that threw me off that I know later games do integrate is having Mario elements in the court themselves rather than just items or whatnot, because most of the stages are basically just that. It's like that. Here's a tennis stage, tennis court. There you go. So very, very odd there. But the thing is, and I'm again, thank you Mario Wiki for this to help me figure this out. There are a lot of unlockable courts. And they do sort of change up things. And I the only one I unlocked was the Donkey Kong one. And when I checked it out a little bit, because you don't get in tournaments modes, but you can check it out in the singles match for that sort of thing. Just that one-off exhibition. And you get new music. You get like the Donkey Kong Country theme. I'm like, oh, this is cool. That's a nice way to kind of reward you, is get that different music and maybe having some other elements to it that make it fun. And it's all about winning certain things with doubles or certain characters. And there's one in here that kind of ties into this, into these extra modes. The only one that you can unlock via those extra modes is the Piranha Court, which in order to do that, you need to get a perfect score of 50 in the Piranha Challenge. Return all 50 balls it shoots out, which I tried. Not happen. That did not happen.
Yeah, I don't know why when I was playing that, like, I don't know if it was just like I was pressing the button in a weird way. I just kept doing charge shots. Like, I don't want these. These are slowing me down. I'm missing the other tennis balls from everything else. Like, why am I keep on doing this? So, like, that's like the one thing I just didn't like. Where it's like, I don't know how to not do a charge shot. I just want to hit the ball. But everything, like,
if you hit the button, that's when you start charging it.
Is that what it is? I thought it was a double tap, and that's always what, like, I'm jamming it to try to like hit it. And
oh
no, I'm charge shotting.
That's not good.
Like, I'm like pushing it a lot to try to make it. It's like, oh no, I gotta have finesse. It's like, oh god, I have to finesse.
Like, I feel like I wasn't holding it down.
Have I been doing it wrong all these years?
I don't know.
No.
I was actually, I feel like every time I double tap too quickly, that's when I started, but I'm not positive of that one whatsoever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
God, I just gave Abbie a crisis of faith.
I feel like Pingu in that meme when the music plays.
Yeah.
Like, I was double tapping, so if that is actually what it is, then
I have a feeling it is. That's what my gut feeling is. So I'm not sure on that one. But there were so many times where I'm like, I'm ready to go for it, and I'm like double tapping to be able to hit it just because I can go in front. Because that is one thing I will say. Depth perception in this game is a pain. It's not so bad when you're in the foreground, but when they put you in that background, my game went into the toilet almost immediately because I'm like, where is it going? And it took me a while to really get a sense of the flow and where it was going, and just like, ooh, this is rough.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, hitting the ball is nowhere near as lenient as it is in future games. Like, your whatever your collision box is for hitting the ball is like baby sized, because I find that, like, at first I'm much more used to playing Mario Power Tennis and the future games, and I would constantly miss the ball because I thought that I had more reach than I did. And it took a while to reprogram my brain to be like, actually, you need to be right on top of the ball in order to be able to hit this thing. So I did also notice that as well.
It's rough. It's rough. There are so many times where I just misinputted, but then, like, it really feels like, especially in the Star Cup, you start out a match, you're doing well with your serving. It's almost like the AI sandbagging you. But then you get into that second round, the third round, where you're going for those set points, and it's like, I'm about to make you feel some pain. Like, they just come alive and just start just smashing you, like, just like, you cannot reach it. Like, you have to sort of read their flows. Like, okay, I know how they're kind of setting up now. I have to sort of prevent this to not perfectly set them up. But there's also sometimes where they hit it so fast to me that I mistime it, and I get a sort of off shot where I hit it back, but it's so slow and like almost like a lob, and they're able to just smash it to the other side. I'm like, that's why I kind of prefer doubles, because I kind of rely on Daisy to save me. But yeah,
I agree.
I played doubles and Daisy hit me in the back of the head, and the other team got points. I'm like, come on. I want to know who in tennis says, like, oh, if you get hit by the ball, the opponent gets the point. I need to speak with that association right away.
That is a good question, because I swear to God, when Daisy was my partner, that was her most common tactic. She just smacked the other opponents in the face. I'm like, well, I'm getting points, so whatever.
Yeah, but then they would smack me in the face and they get points. I'm like, what? Like, this does not sound fair.
These are not baseball rules, apparently. So, yeah.
Baseball, I get a free base.
Yeah. Go figure. So I did a little bit of searching, and you know how we're all saying like, oh man, the Star Cup's so hard. There are 3 more cups. Did you ever unlock these, Abbie, as a kid? Did you?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I'm not, like, there is no way. I think I only managed to do the singles with Birdo as a kid. And then I did doubles as a couple of other characters. But then, to be honest, I mostly just played, like, exhibition matches.
Okay.
But when I did sit and play, like, oh my god, like, it's just so much. And, like, I wasn't good enough. I definitely didn't invest the time in to get good either. But it's really crazy, because I did notice, like, especially in, like, the harder levels, where I would either, like you said earlier, with the first round they would sandbag, and it makes you feel really good about yourself, and then either you'll get a shot in, you'll score points within the first maybe like 3 hits of the ball, or you're going to be rallying for the next 5 minutes, and crying into your jumper and coffee.
Why won't you let me score?
Yeah, while we're trying to like find the will to live, because you know that you will slip up, and they will immediately take advantage of it, and the AI does not slip, and it's just brutal. But I mean, if you're a kid and you're like playing this game like crazy, then you're gonna be like god level at this game. Like if you've been practicing playing all the tournaments and you invite your friends over, you're gonna body all your mates.
Yeah.
And then they'll never want to play with you again.
It's the Smash Brothers issue. You get too good at Smash, and all your friends are like, "Oh, I don't want to play with you. You're too good." It's like, what do you do with that? But yeah. So there are, according to this, there are 3 more tournaments that you can unlock. In order to do this, you need to win all the cups in singles with all 16 characters. Once you're done, the player must then star a character by pressing and holding the R shoulder button while selecting a player. This allows the player to participate in the first one, the Rainbow Cup. The player has to beat the Rainbow Cup in order to get the Moonlight Cup, and the Moonlight Cup to get the Planet Cup. Beating all singles and double special cups with all 16 characters will unlock the Ace difficulty mode for computer players, which means you're working through all that just to have the hardest difficulty for the computer, which is already kicking our butt. Now, here's the other fun part of this, is that I'm looking at what the final one is, the Planet Cup. It's first round, a 3-set match on Expert. Second round, 3-set match on Expert. Final round, a 5-set match on that Ace difficulty that you're trying to unlock. Yeah.
Oh god.
I don't want to. No. No.
Oh no.
Normal is hard for me. What do you mean?
Yep.
It's really scary.
It is
It's
extremely
scary hard. I don't even want to imagine how difficult that is. Like, they must be like playing on another planet where they can stop time and teleport to the place they need to go to optimally hit the ball. Like, I can't imagine, especially with a power character. Let's say you get unlucky and you get a character like Donkey Kong or Wario that just know exactly where to stand. They can position themselves perfectly, and they can also hit the ball at 1,000 miles an hour, so you have absolutely no chance of getting to wherever the ball's going to land. Oh.
Yeah.
I definitely would like to see somebody play it.
I'm sure there's something on YouTube of somebody actually playing at that level and winning.
I'm about to search that after this. I'm like, I need to see what this is. Like, I believe in Abbie's theory 100%. That has to be it. There's no other way.
Yeah. Oh gosh. But yeah, I mean, the difficulty is definitely there. But the thing is, it does kind of push you to be like, yeah, I want to play this. I want to try to beat that challenge, kinda. But there is also a point where it's like, oh god, it's just too much. Like I gave up on singles. The doubles I was okay with. I gave up on singles. But you mentioned earlier, Abbie, about the winning winning screen, at least in singles. And I really enjoyed this. I kind of made me want to beat it on singles, at least just in the Mushroom Cup so I could see them all. I didn't, but like DK's, he's like celebrating getting the trophy coming down towards him, but then he notices bananas next to him, so he pushes the trophy away and just goes for the bananas. It's cute. I like this.
Yeah, they are really cute. I liked Mario's one because Wario just like sneaks up on him like swiggity swooty, and he just like comes to that booty and steals the trophy and runs away with it, which is great fun. And then you've got Yoshi. They eat the trophy and then they poop out a golden egg. It's just like really fun. Like there's just like a little bit of personality in like every cutscene that represents the character really well, and I really enjoyed that. I thought it makes it memorable, and like you said, it makes you want to play through at least to the end of Mushroom Cup just to see them all, because they're quite endearing and friendly, and just it's just the personality of all the characters really does come out in this game. And even with like when you win a set and your character does like a little animation to celebrate, I also love that you can control your character during that animation. I think that's really ahead of its time. I can't think of many things where you kind of have like a victory thing where you kind of have like just an upper body override where it just plays the top half of the animation while you move. It's much more technical here. But like, I can't think of many examples where that happens in a game like this. And I think it just adds so much, and it makes it feel like your victory. Like, you won the point, you see like Mario celebrating, but you can also move him around on the screen. And it just makes me connect to him a lot more and my victory. I thought that was really cool. I don't know if you guys noticed that too.
Somewhat, yeah.
I don't think I did. Because I didn't move the control stick. That's probably why I didn't notice.
Sabrina was like, just putting the controller down.
Yeah,
It's like, I did it. Oh man, I guess we should mention because the timing on this one, very interesting because
Immaculate.
we did our selection, the week passed, and in the course of that week, the original creator of Waluigi revealed what was supposed to be Wa Peach. Well, the second idea of Wa Peach. We don't know what the original concept of Wa Peach was, because it was just, the alternate Peach, and they were like, let's do a Daisy instead. But no, for Mario Power Tennis on GameCube, he revealed the concept art for Wa Peach, which is basically just the idea was supposed to be like she's the leader of Waluigi and Wario, and they're kind of her minions in very much a classic anime fashion, and she's just like sees Peach as the rival and is probably the type to go that sort of anime trope type thing. How fortuitous that we got this Wa Peach.
I love her. I love her concept so much. And it's like, I was talking about this before, like, I have the cosplay stuff in my Amazon cart as we speak. I just need to pay for it. I'm aiming for like a June convention to wear it. Because I'm going to MagFest, and I'm like, that's too cold.
You need some leggings for that one.
Yeah, and then to me, it's just like, that's inaccurate. It's like, so I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to a convention in June. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna wear it there, so I have time to buy it.
What did you think of Wa Peach when you saw her, Abbie?
There's an energy about her, like an edgy energy. She's like the Shadow the Hedgehog of Mario that unfortunately never made it. It's funny that she has the Rosalina fringe. Mm-hmm. I wonder if it makes you wonder if like they like that element of that character, so brought it forward into Mario Galaxy. I mean, it's just all speculation, but the thing is with Wa Peach, probably one of the reasons why I reckon that she didn't make it, other than the fact that maybe there just wasn't a place for her in the game eventually, is she kind of reminds me of a Sonic character. And especially in, like, that weird, like, generation movement before Sega were friends with Nintendo. Maybe it was a bit too close, and that was a reason that they rejected it. I don't know, but, like, overall, I love her, and I wish that they'd bring her back, and it makes you imagine, though, right, how many of these, like, crazy fun characters that we love like just never made it right. I guess it's one of the pains of game development, but I really enjoyed what they've made there, and I think she's got so much personality. Hey, you never know, maybe if there's enough fan outcry, maybe she will come back in maybe the next Mario Tennis game, and will surprise and wow us all.
She seems way more feasible than Bowsette. Let's put it that way. That actually show up. There's no amount of fan outcry was going to make that happen.
But it almost did happen, though. I would think. No, am I thinking about? No, it did almost happen. I believe. What was the concept art? I think it was Odyssey concept art that there was going to be some type of like female Bowser type deal with Peach and Bowser. So that almost did happen. Not the actual Bowsette design that's on the internet, but like there was, I think something was going to happen in like concept art that they found.
Maybe, but I also I hear female Bowser and my mind immediately goes to Cackletta possessing Bowser in Superstar Saga. I'm like, no.
I gotta find it again because I remember that being a thing. I just can't remember what game. I don't think it was like obviously for New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. I think it's called for the Switch, but it was for some. I feel like it was Odyssey that it was going to be like Bowser and Peach, some type of thing. I don't know.
Possibly. I mean, I say, I think of Bowletta, I think it was the name of the character, but we do have Wendy. Wendy's always been a thing. We just need to age her up, and there you go.
Don't say that.
No. The thing is, keep her the same age, because last time Nintendo aged up a character, we got freaking Tiny Kong's redesign, and
I didn't even know that was the same Tiny Kong.
I know, right?
Later, I'm like, oh, that's.
I don't know what they were thinking. I know.
Mario baseball, but that was kind of weird.
Yep, just a little bit. Oh goodness, but yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much, because the thing is, the tennis is just good tennis as far as I can tell. I don't play a lot of tennis games, but the basics are there, other than the issues with the sort of the positioning and the depth perception. You don't have any of the special things, like you don't have like power, the crazy power hits like Aces has or anything like that. But as far as a basic tennis game with Mario grafted on top and still giving that charm, I think it's good.
Yeah, could put it back myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of already summarized it, but I guess with that, I believe we've said all we wanted to say about Mario Tennis on Nintendo 64. But what's our final verdict? Would you recommend it as an N-yeso, or tell people to stay away with an N-oh-no? Sabrina, let's start with you.
I think I would recommend it, yeah, because I think it'll be fun to play with friends. Stay away from the AI. But I think it's a good thing to play with people that you enjoy their company with, and I think I would recommend it.
Yeah. What about you, Abbie?
I would give it a game, set, and match out of N-yeso, because it holds up incredibly well. And especially if you're going to play with friends, and if you're going to play like the doubles tournament with a friend as well, I think you're going to have the best time, and just like kind of embrace the brutal difficulty and revel in those victories together, but also have awesome one-on-one matches and doubles matches with your friends, like when you've got them over. I definitely say it's worth playing with friends more so than on your own, unless you want to try and unlock everything, and in which case, good luck. But I loved it. I thought it was really fun, and just it's a classic, and you could tell me that it's all nostalgia bias, but I genuinely went back to it and I really enjoyed it.
So I don't think there's nostalgia bias, because I have no nostalgia for this game, and I still very much enjoyed it, and I think it's a solid game, and I can see it being much more enhanced by having a friend with you, or you can have 3 other friends with you and be able to do the whole double set, as Sabrina was saying, or even like work together to try to unlock something. So you're working through the doubles together, but then it's like, all right, pass the controller when it comes to the singles, and let's see if we can actually unlock all this stuff and see how we can get through it. But I think it has like enough unlockables to really carry you through if you care about that stuff, but also good multiplayer if you just want to worry about that. There's a nice balance here that I enjoy. And yeah, it's a little rough in places, but nothing like that it's like it feels like just skip it. No, I think there's still a lot of charm to this and a character roster that's certainly unique, especially with its ability to connect with the transfer pack. Unfortunately, a feature we can't experience on NSO, but maybe in the future it'd be something that Nintendo could add, which would be pretty cool, honestly, if they could actually manage to have that feature implemented in some way. But yeah, I agree. And yes, so no nostalgia bias here. I can see why you two are so excited to play this. But what about all of you? Have you played Mario Tennis before, or was this your first time? And before we go, where can everyone find you at? Abbie, plug yourself away.
You can find me on the Bird app, Mama Crocodile, or you can find me on Twitch /Mama Crocodile if you want to watch me play retro games on Mondays and Fridays at 7:30 p.m. GMT. So you can work that out to your own time zones. I'm from the UK, so yeah, it'd be great to see some of you there if you fancy watching me suffer through some retro games.
Yeah. And what about you, Sabrina?
It's you can find me on Twitter at Carithia Moon, and then I also stream on Twitch. I've been getting into speedrunning with Xenoblade Chronicles, and I'm trying to speedrun all the games, but I'm learning Xenoblade Definitive Edition right now, and my run got on the leaderboard, I want to say last week, so I'm learning to
Nice.
I'm trying to do my PB soon, so I'm excited for that. But sometimes I just stream Splatoon and Tears of the Kingdom, just grinding shrines and whatever I just feel like playing when I can.
That's awesome. Definitely check both of them out, excuse me. And thank you both for joining me. And if all you lovely viewers enjoyed this episode, let us know in the comments, and please consider supporting us at patreon.com/gvgaming, which includes our live audience tier that will allow you to watch Game Club live as it's being recorded. But even just subscribing and hitting that bell helps us a ton. But now it's time for the Wheel of Games to choose next week's title, as I'm joined by my special guests, Chugga Conroy and Nintendo Capri Sun. Are you both ready to see what game we're playing?
Ready to get Earthbound and not have to play anything.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Yes, do we have to put a meal to work? That's the big question here. Let's find out. Bring up the wheel and give it a spin. What?
Pokemon TCG's on there. I played that earlier this year too.
You know, I'd like to get that. I would love to see Pokemon TCG pop up, but I don't. Looks like that is not what we're going to be playing. We are playing something called Target Earth for the Sega Genesis.
I've never heard of that.
I have not either, so that's...
Hidden gem, please.
It's the NSO. I have no idea on that one, so...
Yeah, they'll add stuff you've never heard of, but like every once in a while you get a hit game.
I always hope for something surprising, but for now, there you have it. We'll see you next time as we cover Target Earth for the Sega Genesis. Thanks for watching.
It's hard to even say.
I know, right? Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.